More and more, it seems that to be successful in the NBA, you have to have incredible top-end talent. We've seen that stars like Jokic, Giannis, Kevin Durant, and LeBron James can put up godly performances to will their team to victories. Yet we've also seen that if you want to win championships, the quality of your role players is equally as important. In this video, we're going to give some love to the other guys and look at the top 5 role players in the NBA.
The other guys.
I am a peacock! You gotta let me fly!
Now this could get a little messy if we don't have any classifications. So what I did is lay down a couple ground rules. For my list, to qualify as a role player, you have to meet these criteria. The first is that you can't have been a top 3 scorer on your team last season. In my opinion, that's just kind of pushing the limit of what it means to be a role player. So this excludes guys like Brook Lopez or Malcolm Brogdon. The second is that you can't have been an all-star in the past 3 years. It just seems like too recently to have had the status of star. This means no Jared Allen, Rudy Gobert, Chris Paul even, or Draymond Green, but he also lost points because of. And now there's so many great role players in the NBA that feel like a shame not to recognize a couple guys that were just outside the top 5. So here are the honorable mentions. Our first honorable mention is Jaden McDaniels. He just signed a huge contract, and for good reason. He's a fantastic defender with a bunch of potential on offense. He was most recently measured at 6'11", and he can do a little bit of everything at that size. He's a great athlete with a great shooting stroke and can handle the ball. I expect that the only reason that he may not be on this list next season is because he'd be too good for it. Next we have Clint Capella. He's been a great role player in the league for a while now. He's super consistent on both ends of the floor, serving as a great screener, roller, and finisher on offense, and a great rim protector and rebounder on the other end of the court. Next we have Kevon Looney, who just like Capella, is super consistent on both sides of the ball. He perfectly knows his role, setting great screens for Stephen Clay, and cleaning up the glass. Our final honorable mention was the hardest to keep off the list. Bobby Portis was an integral piece of Milwaukee's championship run, and is super talented for a backup big. He can hit open shots and create for himself on offense, and is also a really capable defender. And now, let's move into our top 5. At number 5, we have none other than Alex Caruso. I think as the noise around him is quieted down, the NBA's Hunter Renfrow has really lost some respect. He's one of the top defenders in the league right now, and certainly the best guard defender. And the stats show this, as he leads the league in almost every category for a guard. He was second in the league in defensive plus-minus last season, at a 3.3, double the next closest guard. He also led the league with 4.5 turnovers forced per 100 possessions, while being one of the top rim protectors as well, leading the league in rim deterrence as a guard, while also being right near the top in block shots. He blocked 3% of his opponent's shots, over 3 times that of the normal point guard, and only 1% below the average center. He's a true juggernaut on the defensive end. The only thing keeping him from being higher on this list is his offense. On that end of the court, the only way to really describe him is solid. He certainly isn't going to hurt you, but he's not going to go out there and change the game offensively. He just does everything on that end well enough. On his career, he only averages about 6 points a game, but he's a capable shooter, solid passer, can get to the rim every once in a while. Just a little bit of everything. Now I think this clip is a perfect summation of just how impactful Caruso can be. As you can see, they're down 2 with only 10 seconds left in overtime. He starts with getting the steal on Pascal Siakam, and then hits the clutch 3 in the corner for the win. And then this is the stuff that gets me going. This is the game, what's he gonna do? Show off the band, baby, come on. That's what it's all about, folks. Now tell him who's here, Caruso. The people need to know. I am, he says. I am. Now, number 4, we got a guy with one of the prettiest jump shots in the NBA, Mr. Cam Johnson. Now, I'd be lying if I told you that the main reason he's on this list was anything other than the fact that he just strokes the life out of the ball. For his career, he's a 40% three-point shooter, on solid volume, making over 2 a game, and is certainly the driving force behind his unreal offensive efficiency at 122, 7 points above league average. However, the thing that separates Cam from other shooters in this league is his versatility. He's more than capable of attacking closeouts, and then has solid athleticism to finish at the rim. And if you're not convinced, just ask Joel Embiid what he thinks.
Puts it down. That was vicious.
Another thing that separates him from the rest of the shooters in this league is his defense. He's not exceptional on that end by any means, but he's very solid, and he can guard a handful of different positions because of his size and athleticism. In this clip, for example, he started by shutting down Lauri Markkanen, and then switched onto the guard and Talen Horton-Tucker and did the same thing. All in all, Cam's almost a perfect role player. Elite on offense as one of the best shooters in the league, and more than capable on the other end due to his size and athleticism. At number 3, we have Derek White. Going from D2 to D1 all the way to the NBA, he's already had a remarkable career, and he's brought a lot to the table ever since his San Antonio days. But recently with the Celtics, especially after last year's playoffs, he's really starting to put his name out there as one of the best role players in the NBA. I mean, let's never forget the remarkable tip-in he had against the Heat to force Game 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals last season. Big-time winning plays like this are what you look for in your role players, and Derek White makes a bunch of them. What makes him so special is his ability to do whatever you need on offense. With the ball, he can make plays for himself or for others, averaging just under 4 assists a game last season. But he doesn't need the ball in his hands to be successful. He's a deadly shooter at just over 38% from 3 last season, but is also great attacking closeouts. Having a guy that can get you a consistent 10 to 15 points a game or explode on any given night is such a valuable weapon for any NBA team to have. All this is shown in his elite offensive rating of 124. On top of this, Derek White is one of the best guard defenders in the NBA. He was first amongst guards in blocks, averaging almost 1 a game, and also led the league in 2-point shots contested at 335, which was 90 more than second place. He did a great job of forcing misses as well, with a negative 2.5% field goal differential, which was tied for 4th amongst guards. There's really not a lot more you can ask for in a role-playing guard, and look for him to have a big impact as Boston pushes for a title this season. Now at number 2 we have Marcus Smart. We all know just how incredible he is on defense, but I'm going to remind you anyway. Winning Defensive Player of the Year in 2022, he became only the 6th guard in NBA history to win that award, and the first since Gary Payton in 95-96. His career defensive rating is a 107, which is below what led the league last season, and he's always willing to put his body on the line for his team. He's won the NBA's Hustle Award 3 times since its debut in 2017. This award attempts to encapsulate all the little things it takes to win. Deflections, loose balls recovered, charges drawn, screen assists, contested shots, box outs, etc. Just watch this play right here, as it's a perfect example of the Marcus Smart experience. Pokes it free, gets the steal, and now look at the unselfishness. Perfect pass off the backboard. Just watch this play right here, perfect example of the Marcus Smart experience. Pokes it free, makes an incredible play to pass it up the court to Tatum. And then, that's more like it, folks. And now what separates Smart from somebody like Caruso is that he's very capable on offense as well. He's hovered around the 12 to 13 point mark for the last 4 seasons, and is a great facilitator, averaging just under 6.5 assists a game last season. He also gets some credit from me for consistently elevating his game in the playoffs. Each year for the last 4 years, he's increased his scoring average by almost 4 points per game in the playoffs, as well as improving his shooting percentages. He really is a guy that makes so many winning plays, and one that every coach or player would love to have on their team. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've all been waiting for. The winner of the highly anticipated, highly coveted, first inaugural Other Guy of the Year trophy goes to Aaron Gordon.
Since 2000. It's over, ladies and gentlemen. It's over again.
Since Dwayne Wade robbed him in the dunk contest, I couldn't let it happen again. Thankfully for Aaron, if he had to choose between the dunk contest and the Other Guy of the Year, I'm sure he would choose this 100% of the time. All jokes aside, when we talk about the importance of role players in winning championships, he's a perfect example, as he was an integral part of the Nuggets' run last season. He brings a versatility on both ends of the court that very few power forwards have. On offense, he's tremendous off the ball as a lob threat and a cutter, and is also starting to develop into a more consistent 3-point shooter. But he's also tremendous with the ball in his hands. He's great at getting to the rim, using his strength and athleticism on both drives and post-ups. But he's also got great prowess as a passer. I mean, how many teams can run the 4-5 pick and roll like this, with confidence their power forward's going to thread that needle? And he looks like the Joker himself right here with this one-click touch pass over the top. It's just beautiful. All this led him to impressive averages last season, where he put up almost 16.5 points, 6.5 boards, 3 assists, on over 56% from the field and 35% from 3. Good for a 124 offensive rating, which is 9 points higher than the league average. I was honestly a little surprised that he wasn't top 3 for the Nuggets in scoring, but I should have known that the GOAT had him beat.
But I don't see contests.
Aaron Gordon's also huge for the Nuggets defensively. Thanks to his size, strength, and athleticism, he can guard virtually 1 through 5 on the court. Just like his offense, he just really doesn't have any flaws here. He'll block shots, force turnovers, and stay in front of his man. And just like Marcus Smart got some points for stepping up his game in the playoffs, Aaron Gordon gets some points for having the dunk of the year, because this right here is insane. He's an absolutely special athlete at that size, and I honestly think this might have been the last straw for Landry Shamet. I think he is now afraid to step on an NBA court, because I haven't seen him playing much since, and I honestly don't blame the guy. Imagine missing a 3 with the game on the line, and then running back on defense and just getting baptized. And so that's going to be all for this video, folks. Let me know your thoughts on the rankings, and if there's anybody you think I left out. I'm always happy for a little friendly debate. If you enjoyed, I'd really appreciate if you liked and subscribed. If not, let me know what I can do better next time. Hope you have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video.